What is good, everybody? It's BBKDRAGOON. Welcome back to my Warframe Beginner's Guide series. I do apologize for the length of delay between the last episode and this one. If you want to continue playing ahead, you can check out in the description below iFlynn's Beginner Guide playlist. He is like a wizard. That guy is incredibly good at Beginner's Guide videos. And also, I've linked my Beginner's Guide series from last year. Both are going to cover very similar things. So if you're trying to play ahead and I'm too slow for you, I apologize. All right, today we're going to be talking about Mercury. We're going to be talking about mods that you want to get before we move on, the Once Awake quest, getting the Boltor built, and a bunch of other cool things in between, like Maru's Bazaar. First, though, let's talk about companions. If you head over to the market and you come to categories, companions, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see the Taxon blueprint. You're going to buy this blueprint and you are going to begin building this bad boy. This is a companion. Companions are little floating dudes that you can utilize to... Yes, I still know I need to do the sacrifice on this account. These are little floating guys that will join you in your missions, and you can put different mods on them specific for companions to synergize well. One particular mod that is easy to get, Vacuum. Detects and collects items within 11.5 meters for its master, including mods. This one is a mandatory one. I don't have many other good companion mods on this account, except Vacuum is extremely useful. So as you're going through a mission, you don't have to run directly over dropped mods or items or ammunition. Your companion is just going to suck all those things up to you, so you can be much faster as you navigate through the map. With that said, it's time to talk about Mercury, and boy, is there a lot to chat about. If you've been following the guide up until this point, I've talked to you guys about clearing all the nodes on a planet. If you finish all the nodes on a planet, you unlock Nightmare Mode, as well as the ability to plant extractors on a planet. Nightmare Mode is a specific mission with a challenge. There's higher level enemies than what you've been experiencing thus far, as well as a 3 times damage multiplier. And at this point in the series, these will be hard missions. Definitely recommended to matchmake with other people. It's worth playing Nightmare missions because upon completion, they drop Nightmare mods. These are rare mods that have 2 stats on them. For those of you guys who have been maybe not enjoying the game's level of difficulty, at this point, Nightmare missions are quite difficult and will give you a chance to dig into a little bit more challenging content. So I'm showing on screen right now the mission Susue. I'm not sure how you say it, but it's the mission that you need to complete on Mercury in order to get past the Mars Junction on Earth. This is a spy mission. Spy missions require players to locate consoles found in data vaults. They're special rooms that are kind of like little puzzles, security puzzles. These are stealth missions. Each mission has 3 separate data vaults, or places that you need to successfully infiltrate. All 3 must be breached and attempted before extraction becomes available. Players must breach these vault rooms and then hack the little console that is at the end of them. If you alert the enemies to your presence, you have a timer that runs out, and you have to basically hack it before that point, or you miss out. Essentially, you have 20 to 50 seconds, depending on the difficulty, to attempt to reach the console and hack it if you are discovered. These little puzzle rooms are pretty cool. Most of them have alternate paths and little tunnels that can be used to stealthily get around things. I like spy missions a lot, and I'm just bringing this up now because you're probably going to be doing a lot of spy missions. They can be quite useful for certain mod farming. The end of the mission rewards for spy missions depends on how many vaults that you hack. You need at least 1 hack to be successful in order to accomplish the mission. While the footage goes here in the background, I want to talk about these spy missions and why they can be so useful. There's a few mods that you want to be having at this point in the game. Ceres is one of those mods. Ceres has a chance to drop from successful spy missions. Hornets Strike is another mod that you're going to want to have in your arsenal about this time. It can also drop in spy missions at this point in the game. Pressure Point, it's a very, very common mod. You probably have it at this point. And then Point Blank. You can get Point Blank from infested crawler enemies, and it's really, really useful as we're pushing towards the Hex Shotgun a little bit later. Additionally, while you are in the Mercury point in the game, you're going to want to complete the Once Awake quest line. Very self-explanatory. We've talked about quests in earlier versions of the guide. At this point, you will also get another quest called Howl of the Kubrow. I don't necessarily recommend completing this quest right now. Kubrows are like space dogs. However, they are kind of resource sinks, or at least in the earlier portions of the game, they're a little bit of a resource sink. If you want a space dog and that sounds fun, you can absolutely start this quest line up now. It's going to take you some time to actually complete it, but for most players, generally people wait to get their Kubrow into a little bit later. With all that said, let's come back over here to the star chart. If we return to Earth and we look at the Mars Junction, well, we need to get to Mars. The next step in our journey is completing that quest once awake, defeating 150 Frontier Grenier, 500 Rubido in missions, and completing Ceres on Mercury. Very easy. Let's hop into Mars. Okay, the very first thing I want you guys to know before you begin playing nodes on Mars. My least favorite requirement out of anything in the star chart is this one at the Phobos Junction. Scan 3 Cephalon Fragments on Mars. I am literally going to use the footage from last year's guide series when showing you the Cephalon Fragments. These are little things hidden on maps. One thing that we definitely want to do is come to the market if you haven't done so already. If you come here and you search Codex Scanner, you will see here Codex Scanner. You want to buy a few of these. They give you, I think, 25 each. So just buy a few of these. They're super duper cheap. They're 500 credits. And in order to equip those, you come back down to the armory and you come to the gear option at the bottom. And then here you can equip it in your gear wheel. I have mine right here. On PC, in order to pull this up, you hold down the Q key. I think that's the default bind. With that said, these Cephalon Fragments are little blue balls. They are hidden throughout missions on Mars. You need to scan 3 of them. Now, if you just are playing through Mars, you might bump into a few of these, but if you completely forget about it and then need to go find them, it can be kind of a pain in the butt. They generally are hidden in little nooks and corners on the sides of the maps. Not my favorite requirement because a lot of people get stuck here and then it takes them hours when they're enjoying the game and they see the momentum fall apart as they have to go back through these missions looking for these tiny, light little balls that spawn randomly. It's useful to get in the habit of scanning Cephalon Fragments when you see them, however. Okay, with that out of the way, and you beginning the journey on Mars, I want to cover one last thing in this video, and that is Maru's Bazaar. Maru's Bazaar is a public space. You may have noticed a public space on the previous destination, Mercury, called Larunda's Relay. This public space, we talked about this actually last time with trading, so you guys kind of already know what a public space is. If you don't, this is just sort of a hub little world. However, Maru's Bazaar is special in the fact that it has Maru here. And as we upgrade mods, we're going to need Endo. Endo is very useful to us for upgrading mods, but it can be tough to come by. What we're going to talk about today is your weekly Ayatan sculpture that you can get from Maru. Stick with me here. So you talk to Maru, and at the very bottom you say, I'm looking for Ayatan treasures. And you tell her, I'm ready now. This is going to begin a special mission in which you are going to have to complete. Oh, sweet, we got the Derelict. So there's 2 maps for this, the Void and the Orokin Derelict. We got the Derelict one. This is a little bit easier to explain than the other jump puzzle. So what you're going to do is you're just going to follow the objective waypoint on the map. This is a weekly quest that you can do to get an item called an Ayatan Sculpture. That Ayatan Sculpture, if you complete this mission successfully, you can put Ayatan stars into and then sell to Maru to get more Endo. If that doesn't make sense, do not fret. It will make sense in a moment. Okay, so welcome. This is sort of a jump puzzle. We're going to step here on this plate. It's going to go down, and then we want to reach the end before the door closes. We will come up here. We'll come over here. And what this is basically, like I said, a jump puzzle that you're going to want to hop on this tree and not fall on the floor and not fall and touch these things right here. If you fall on the floor, you will not be able to get back up. You have to restart the whole thing. And you see how the door is closing? Boom, we got through and we stepped on the pressure plate. The ones on the Orokin Derelict are not very difficult. The Void jump puzzles might be a little bit more difficult for new players. And look, here is our Ayatan sculpture. We're going to pick it up. Make sure you come up here and bust open the mod containers, especially if you are on the Void one, because we're going to be doing a lot of Void container farming later. So there's some containers on the left, the right, all over the place here. When you step on that plate, it engages the little slicey laser things. Everybody likes slicey laser things, right? And then all we got to do is extract, and I will show you guys how to put stars into your sculpture and then sell it right back to Maru. So you notice here, if I fall on the ground and I try and go backwards, you can't. That's the whole point of this thing. It's supposed to be, like I said, a jump puzzle where you stay up top in the trees, and I like these. They're very fun, and you want to make sure that you're doing this as often as you can, every single week. Speaking of that, this is an Ayatan star right here, so I'm going to pick it up on the ground. You'll see these dropping throughout missions. Pick up Ayatan stars whenever you see them. I was assuming that you guys have probably seen Ayatan stars at this point in the game so far, but if you haven't, well, there they are. So go down the elevator and wrap this mission up. I do want to just tell you guys how much I appreciate your support on this series and watching Warframe content on this channel. I really love this game, and it's now been a little over a year that I've been playing pretty regularly, and I am still just super blown away at what Digital Extremes has done here with this game. It's so much fun. I can't believe how much content they've shoved into it. And even, 14 months later, I'm still really interested in enjoying the game. And the fact that you guys are watching this content and supporting it just means an absolute ton to me. So thank you very much. Okay, so I ended up coming back to the ship. You're going to go down to the mod bench. And what we're going to do here is come over to the tab that says Ayatan Treasures. And here you'll see you have sculptures and you have stars. And what you're going to do is, I think this was the sculpture we just got. You're going to click on it. And as you can see here, it's like really pretty and it looks nice. And yeah, you can put this in your ship. However, if you highlight here, you can fill the slots up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Ayatan stars in all the appropriate slots. The orange ones go into the amber slots and the cyan ones go into the blue slots. And now that I've placed the stars into my sculpture here, you can see this is worth 1,800 endo. A heck of a lot more than if I were just to sell these pieces on their own. And now it does this really stinking cool artwork thing. Digital Extremes, it looks great. Now I can go back to Maru's Bazaar and sell this sculpture. So we come back to Maru and we're saying I'm looking to extract endo from my Ayatan items. And then you will see here, oh man, I forgot the new UI looks so much nicer. And here, okay, like here's an empty sculpture, 325 and 50 endo per each. You can see the giant difference it makes when you actually put these stars into the sculptures. So we'll sell it. We're going to get about 1,725 endo. Rock and roll. That is the best way for you to start accumulating larger amounts of endo as you begin upgrading mods. All right, with all that said, I have no idea how long this video is. I'm guessing fairly long so far. There's still so much to cover, but your next step on the journey is completing Mars and working your way to get through that Phobos junction. The game really does start picking up at this point. Trust me, Mars into Phobos, and then we get to talk about the Void and Ceres, and it is just starting. Like, if you're enjoying the Warframe journey thus far, it is about to pick up momentum. You're about to get stronger. We still have to talk about weapons, crafting warframes, and so much more. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please let me know by thumbsing it up. If there's something I missed or I said incorrectly, veterans, you guys have been fantastic about helping others in the comment section. I encourage that, and I do want to see that same level of awesomeness moving forward. You guys are just, it's great. It's really cool. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I will check in with you again next time.